Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you, my audience. My name is Althea Walters. I am your host for the Focused and Fulfilled podcast. Now, today I have a special guest. And right before I get to my guest, I just wanted to share with you that I am a business coach, productivity coach, and I'm also a corporate trainer at Blazing Beyond. And so the Focused and Fulfilled podcast, we interview persons who are so passionate about what they are doing, who went on the road to trod that path to become fulfilled in what they're doing. So focused on it. And so this is why they're here. And today my guest is Nosheen Khan. And Nosheen, she's a mompreneur. She's a founder at her company, Easy Sales Automation. And she wears so many different hats that we're going to have to pull out in this conversation. And so welcome, Nosheen. It's so good to have you on the podcast.
Thank you so much, Althea. Thank you so much. The honor is all mine. I do want to mention when I saw your podcast name, that was it for me. I always talk about being focused and being fulfilled. It was like,
amen.
Yes, and those are the two things that's going to let you grow. Actually, if you're not focused, you cannot even move an inch. You cannot make progress. So great job there. Thank you.
Exactly. Oh, thank you so much. And that was it for me when I came up with the name. I wanted to, no matter what I did, the word focus was always there.
I agree.
Try to twin the word. No matter what I did, focus was always there. And my mission was to make sure that whatever I am doing is something that will bring me joy and fulfillment. And so that's how we landed on the Focused and Fulfilled podcast.
There you go.
Right. So Nosheen, I want to hear a little bit about your story. Your zone of genius based on our conversation is that you simplify businesses. You make things easy, right? You are all about automation. And I want to hear much more about that. And, how did that come up for you? What's your background?
Oh, it's a long story. So
we have the time. We're ready.
Okay, so it all started with, and that's why I pride myself into being titled as mompreneur first, because as a mom, your main priority is like your kids, right? Your child or your children. And I've seen like mostly if you're a career-oriented woman or a mom, then you're like always sacrificing. Either one area gets affected and, ignored, or the other, right? And as a woman or as women, we hate doing that. We just want to excel at everything we do. I know that's what we do.
Absolutely.
So. Exactly. So then what happened was I did not enter the online world deliberately. It was my ever first, I'm going to say, called failure or like a rejection. And that was when I was let go of my job due to my health reasons. And I mean, I was happy, fulfilled, or so-called fulfilled, I thought. I didn't know better, but and I was young, and that's just what you do. You say like you've gotten a degree, now a job, climb the corporate ladder, the shiny items, the shiny things that you buy, and all that. Right? Little do we know that this all could end any second, right? Any second. So what happened was that I was really happy and excelling in my corporate job, and then I was let go because of that. And here I am sitting like, okay, so, I could rest, yes, for a few days, but then what? And it wasn't like I am like, I'll start looking for another job, because if this job is, if this health issue is keeping me from, doing a great job or, actually showing up at work, then there's no point in even looking for another job. Yeah. So I knew that, I was bedridden for a few months, I'm going to say. And that is when I was, and I tell this to everybody, and it's like a cliche now, it sounds cliched, but I was literally typing in Google, like how to work from bed. Like I didn't know any better. I didn't know the phrase. Work from home was not even a term. Like there was just no, and I did not know the word freelancing back then. I didn't. I didn't know that whoever you could freelance from home. I didn't know that. Otherwise, I would have typed that and I would have gotten here sooner.
Yes.
So that's what happened. I just took my corporate job duties, I wrote them down, and I thought to myself, what are some of the job duties I can do from home? So out of those were like making calls and responding to emails. Actually, that was about it, or any other copy pasting stuff, right?
Mhm.
And back in the day, it wasn't like a virtual assistant was not a thing. Everything was like office assistant or executive assistant. So that's when I started looking for, office assistant type jobs, but I would tell them like, I'm almost handicapped, God forbid, but and that I'll be working from home. So since it wasn't a thing, and offline, I had a title, right? I was this senior, loan processor, and I was the office manager and all that. But online, nobody knew me. Like I was nobody. So I had to get my foot in the door somehow.
Yes.
And I was like, whatever it is that I could do for copy pasting, making calls for you, or sending emails for you, I'll do it. And that is when, one of these professors, he hired me to do some job for his book, for some research work for his book, upcoming book. And he just told me he's looking for, he's looking for me to just paste the resource where he got that from. So it was very stupid, simple thing to do, right? Just grab it,
Basic,
copy and
yes.
paste it in Excel, and that was it. So I was ecstatic, like, okay, somebody said yes to me. Somebody believed in me. Oh my God, I can finally work from bed, right?
And by the way, I like the term work from bed, right?
There you go. And we're all going to be in that age.
Right,
I
sometimes.
do intend to do that too, but no, I'm just kidding. I do plan to retire like in a year or so. But anyway, so that's what happened. I was just too excited, too, grateful, I'm going to say. And it did not even occur to me, or I'm going to say it was so new. This online working was so new. It was unheard of. So of course I was new to this too. And I did not even ask about what you're going to pay me or how much it is. And they had just locked me in for, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
33 cents an hour.
What?
I could not believe it.
Oh my God.
Not believe it.
But you just didn't know. You didn't know. So you just went with the opportunity that somebody offered you something.
I tell people that I am super, super thankful for that opportunity,
Of course.
even though it was 33 cents, because that opportunity led to such big opportunities. Because it was just the first thing I did. I just needed somebody to say yes to me, somebody to believe that I could do something. And I just wanted a review. Back in the day, like if somebody says, now we can buy reviews, but back in the day you couldn't. So they had put in a good review, like she was great, whatever, and that's all I needed. And thank God it was not a long project.
That's a great referral.
Yes, yes.
And I'm sure great opportunities to hone your skills and to, you know what you could do now, what you could do better tomorrow, etc. So that would have been your foot in the door then.
That was the foot in the door. That was saying yes to that small opportunity that led to very big opportunities later on. Because I do tell people like the next job was like $1.50 or maybe like $5 and then $8. And then, so I started making my way up until Upwork, you reached out to me and they hired me as their internal employee. So this would not have been possible. This would not have been possible because that is when Upwork started. So I was part of the first few people. I was, what do you call them? Founding members of Upwork. We were about 12 people, I think. So that's, I learned a lot from that opportunity. Oh my God, working with a startup, it taught so much, so much. And that's just how the journey started. And
Wow.
I just never looked back, and it just, I'll be honest, let opportunity find you, like, trying out new things. Let opportunity find you, like, doing things, right? Because who knows, one of them is just gonna just be the break that you're looking for.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Nosheen, I so love your story. I so love how it's so humbling for you to share, and you're just fine, just I feel the light, you sharing it. And of course, it is your journey and all the experiences is a part of the process to get you where you are.
Absolutely.
Right? Sometimes there are persons who may be in jobs or maybe in a situation and they don't feel like this is it, but at the same time, it's part of writing your story.
There you go. You said it very nicely. Yes, yes.
Yes, it's part of writing your story. So don't discount it any at all. Don't discount it. And I like the fact that even though while you were having your health issues and that caused you to be bedridden, you were not, I'm trying to find a word, you did not let that stop you, right?
Right. That's people ask me that, like, what made you kept going on, right?
Right.
I'll be honest, I still don't know. I'll be honest. But one thing I do know, that was like my first, I'm going to say, biggest, like, rejection or failure. Because up until then, it's like whatever I start, I'm going to excel in it. Whatever I do, I do it best. It was like that, right? But of course, that's not how things are going to roll for the rest of your life. So It all came down crashing, and it taught me so much. So absolutely, I would not be where I am today had I not have those experiences, I call them.
And we have to be so grateful because your current circumstances, which you were in at the time, or your current position, it does not define your destination.
Absolutely.
Right? It does not define your destination, because as we're saying, we're on a part.
Yes.
We're on a journey. Yes. And you spoke about failure, but without failure, we don't know the next move.
True, very true. I tell everybody I have started from scratch 3 times. And when I say scratch, I just told you where that scratch was. Like, there's I don't think
work from bed was one scratch.
There you go. So that was scratch. And then so I worked with these startups, but still I worked for somebody, right?
Yes.
So the second time that I started was I started my own business, and that was, again, I started from zero, like. And of course, that was a learning curve too, like launch once, launch twice, launch 3 times, launch 4 times. One of them was, supposedly supposed to be the biggest launch. And that never happened. It did not even get off the ground, just didn't. But then out of these experiences, I had just once mentioned that, I'm gonna, be an author one day. So I didn't know in the grand scheme of things where these experiences are sitting, but being the author came first, then launching my big, awesome, it was supposed to be an ultimate launch. It was even called the ultimate launch. So
you had the vision. We're just working with the vision. You were on a mission.
There you go.
The ultimate launch. But guess what? It was the ultimate launch. It may not have felt like that, but it was the ultimate launch for you.
I will still call it, because it was the ultimate failure too. Okay. And something great came out of it, like something that I was of the opinion until until like maybe 2 years ago, that there was no way I could do what I'm doing right now because of my own, limiting beliefs. Like I don't have a degree. I just don't have the knowledge. I'm too old. This is for like these young kids to do, and all those things, right? Yeah. But I kid you not, that ultimate launch, which turned into an ultimate failure, or epic failure that I call it, became an opportunity for me to launch my own software.
Mm.
And I had no idea how to do this. If you had asked me about a year ago, I would be avoiding any conversation that involved technology or tech.
You sound like me. You sound like me.
We are all tech resistant. I know as women, I've noticed this. We avoid it. We would rather do the comforting, mundane, repetitive
Yes.
tasks than automate it. We're just, I don't know why we resist it, but we do. And that's
Yeah.
what I did too.
Okay. So, Nosheen, I'm hearing something. You said you still don't know what kept you going.
Yeah.
And I am trying to figure it out, just talking to you right now, because every time you failed, every time something went wrong, you did something bigger.
I tried to figure it out first, but it eventually became something big.
Yeah.
But this does not mean that I have not seen dark days, bad days.
Right, because you must have experienced a lot of challenges.
Yes,
Along the
a ton
way.
of times.
Yeah.
People may not know this. I am a big introvert. Like, people look at my social media following and they think I'm just this big, I'm this biggest extrovert who could just go live anytime. Let me tell you, the first time I wanted to start a podcast, I recorded myself and I hated myself, like listening to it. I was like, what is this? Who's going to listen to this? Like, who am I to do this, right? Imposter syndrome right there.
Right.
And then I just told myself, okay, so I tell everybody, like, I come from a military background, so maybe that's why I just don't easily give up. I do attribute that to,
I can see that.
So I just tell myself, when I first started the podcast, I just told myself, okay, I'm going to just do 100 of these and then I'll just quit. And all of a sudden that pressure that I was feeling was off my shoulders. I was like, okay, it's like homework. I just got to do this once and be done with it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I did that, I mean, of course it took time, like almost 8 months, but I never quit. I kept going. Because now I became it just became second nature. And then came, so I did then radio shows just to get out of my comfort zone, just to be okay with, my voice. And so radio is live. I thought, I'll choke to death on within my first 5 minutes on air, but I didn't. So that's proof that it was all up here. Like, that is proof that it's all in our heads. So I did that, and then came videos, because that's when YouTube was big, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a YouTube channel and I'm gonna make videos. Mm-hmm. Little did I know, and I kid you not, I mean, these are the things I did not even know about myself. So when I was I recorded myself, and then I'm looking at myself and I'm making these faces, like I did not even realize that for past, I don't know how many years, that's how I talk. But yes. You're
just seeing it for the first time.
Right? I was like, what am I doing? What is this? So again, I was like, this is such an embarrassment. And I'm like, my voice is shaky. And I could not do it. Again, it was video, right? Mm-hmm. Again, I told myself, okay, just let's do it 100 times and be done with it. And that's it. And then I just never stopped. I mean, I have recorded over 300 videos now. So today, if somebody sees me, they will not believe that this was me, like not even 3 years ago, because that's how bad I was. And then came these stupid live streams.
Yes, that you have to go live.
I was like, look, the video I could take because I could edit it, right? Mm-hmm. But live stream, like, I'm not even supposed to make a mistake. And I do when I talk, I say like and all right a lot, and and I was so cautious about it.
Yeah.
But then I did 100 of those too. And right now it's not like I'm good at live stream. I just go, I don't care anymore.
It's just a part of your process. So you just do it.
Yeah, right? That's it.
But you have so much to give in what you just said, because I can see that you never give up, as you said. There is something about you that just wants to be better than the last version of yourself, right?
Absolutely. I
Being
truly
better,
believe in that.
yes, being better than the last version of yourself. So you're always coming out stronger and better each time, and always finding the solution to something else that is ahead of you. So I appreciated that. But then with all of these challenges that you just shared, you are a natural introvert. You don't like to be on camera. You don't want to talk live. You are there criticizing your own self that, hey, I don't sound good. I don't look good on camera. Can I do this? Because we all struggle with the limiting belief factor. So with all of those challenges and the modern day technology challenges, you still prove yourself wrong over and over and over again that you can't do it. You prove yourself wrong because you can do it.
I realize it's all in our head. Like,
It
seriously,
is.
it's all in our head.
It is. I am telling you, that was the next thing I was going to say, that every time you have to fight with yourself is this mind.
This is it. Yeah, this is it. This is it.
Whether or not you can do it, whether or not you will get it right, whether or not that video will be done properly, whether or not people will see me and like me and gravitate towards me and my services, it's all in our heads.
Absolutely.
And for that, we just need to continue pushing, continue trying to be the better version of ourselves, and it will come to us, right?
Right. Yes. Yes. And also we try to be everybody's cup of tea. As I don't know if it's just a woman thing, or I've seen that. And after so many, I'm going to say, like, rejections, there have been people that I was just not their cup of tea. And yes, it was pretty, I'm going to say, discouraging. And disappointing. But again, we have to keep reminding ourselves we cannot be everybody's cup of tea. So I mean, here I could be doing something so, grand, but then again, if I'm working with somebody else, we may not be a good fit. So when I realized that part, that it is okay to not be a fit for everyone, it is just okay. It's like personal boundary. It's like personal, choice. It's okay. We cannot work together. We have different priorities. We have different views, whatever, right?
Different missions.
There you go. Yeah. And so you have to be okay with that and just focus on what you gotta do. If I look at conversations, even if I look at my own videos, the way I talk, it's like, I tell myself, like, I hope I talk better today. Because if I've not grown, if I'm not grown out of that stage, I mean, what have I been doing all this time? So we're constantly, I mean, we should be comparing ourselves to ourselves and, become better each day. But again, not to anybody else, never to anybody else.
I so love what you said about not trying to be everybody's cup of tea. We can't serve everybody. We can't please everybody. We're not a good fit for everybody. So we also have to know what doesn't go well. And then act from there. So tell me a little bit, Nosheen, about easy sales automation and what do you do to help to simplify businesses and just work in your own zone of genius? Tell me a little bit about that.
Thank you. So this is a time when I just start talking. You know how it is when it's
the introvert that becomes extrovert because she loves what she's doing.
So remember my massive epic failure launch, ultimate launch that turned into ultimate failure. So that was because of tech issues. So I was trying to, and we all do this. We were not. That's just all we knew. Okay. So we all duct tape our businesses together with multiple tools. Like if it's a webinar, if it's an email, then then funnel pages and the website and the scheduling and the payment link. We're all taking multiple tools and we're like duct taping it together to run our businesses or to hold our businesses. So that's exactly what I was doing, but I had no tech knowledge. If something broke, then how am I going to fix it? Because I wasn't even thinking of something breaking at all because it was my ultimate launch anyway. So, the day of the launch, nobody could open any of my links. And no matter what I did, I could not fix it. I have friends, I have other people in my mastermind, you know, I'm part of a few of them, and they're like really experts, okay, like tech gurus. They said, oh, it's just a matter of 2 minutes. You will fix it. They couldn't fix it. Like nobody knew what is wrong with it.
I would freak out.
And I did. So I kid you not, for the next 2 to 3 months, I tried fixing it and it did not get fixed. And that is when I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna waste more of my energy and time on this. I had to let it go. So I deliberately let the domain expire and just not go after it. You know, I had worked so much on it, but again, it was time to part with it because it was not going anywhere. So, and then I started doing the same, like duct taping other people's businesses for my clients. And that is when I realized, like, what if we have just one tool or one platform where we just log in and it'll be our business hub. We visually are able to see the pipelines, how many people or how much money is coming in, how much money is pending, how many people are still in the open status so I could follow up with them, how many people said no, and then I could put them on the side and follow up with them maybe in a month or 2 months. All of this, before this, we were not able to visually see. So everything was in our head and we're like, okay, we're running our business and all that, right? I kid you not, when I started searching for it, like how I'm going to build this tool, of course, I did not build it myself. I hired help. I asked them. They're probably sick and tired of me because I was probably the only person who hired them to do the job, but I was like, you're not going to do it. You're going to teach me.
Exactly.
So they're like, if we do it, it'll be 2 seconds, but if we teach you, it'll be 2 hours. I was like, I don't care. So
That's it.
That's what happened. So the next 8 months is what it took for me to learn the inside out, to actually build it all. And I kid you not, the first person that, of course, I offered it to my friends first. And
Yes.
like, okay, I was so excited.
You're testing your pilot.
Yeah, there you go. So the very first friend who started using it, I kid you not, within 4 months, or not even, she reached 6 figures.
Wow.
She's like, I cannot believe this. Like this, I could not see. So I did not know how to prioritize who I'm following up with. Where should I put my focus on? Like, what am I doing now? If it's towards the end of the month and I have like 3 sitting open in the pipeline, I just grab the phone and I just start talking. So what can I do for you? And still try to close them before the month ends, just so she can have like a better month. And so this one thing, being able to visually see your business was a game changer. And not to mention, it is just one platform. Like you run your business through one platform. So that was mission accomplished. And I thought that only, somebody with a tech degree would do it.
I've done that.
I don't have a tech degree. I'm actually an English literature master's, so totally opposite, right? But here I am. It's called Easy Sales Automation, and that's what it does. It makes your business easy to sell with the help of automation. And what I've done is I've already built everything. So it's not like you will be building it yourself. When you use the system, when you become part of the community, everything is built for you. All you have to do is customize it to your business. For example, the landing pages will have like a blue and a yellow and red, and maybe your colors are like pink and green and something else.
Right.
And it's going to have a generic logo. You're going to replace that with yours. It's going to have everything like generic, but it comes with the copy, like a persuasive copy as well. So it's not like you're just sitting there thinking like, how
What
should
next?
my
Why,
email
right?
be?
How do I say this?
Yes,
Right.
yes. And it already has, it just tells you, add your offer name here, like in parentheses.
That's simply enough for me, Nosheen.
That's all you have to do. And when you are, because I know I've done this for my clients, and I would charge them $5,000 just to put everything together for them. And it worked really fine because that's what we want, right?
Yes.
We want, there are too many pieces. There's just way too many pieces of the puzzle to be, and it's not one person's job. If you're running a business, you're doing these mundane tasks, you're not an expert in everything. So, and then we're supposed to hire experts. And when we're starting our businesses, we're like bootstrapped. We don't have the budget to hire experts. So yes, if it was a startup and I had funding, I would hire somebody for 25K marketing person, and there you go ahead, do it, right?
Right.
But this is for solopreneurs, because I realized that we as solopreneurs don't have the tools. Everybody's selling like enterprise level tools, right? And we end up paying for those enterprise level tools without knowing how to work on them. Like we're trying to figure out that tool. If it's funnel building, if it's email marketing, like active campaign. I mean, okay, so people, it's hard. It's not easy, like creating those workflows. But now you got an active campaign subscription, but who's going to create the flows? Now you need to either hire somebody, or you spend like 8 months figuring out
by yourself,
right? And watch like
much work.
videos. Yes. And then you realize 8 months later that you have not made progress because you were trying to figure out things. So I believe that solopreneurs, because we're creatives, right? We cannot be stuck in figuring things out. We cannot be. Our creative juices, like we just want to get stuff done. So that's why when you become a community member, it's all there for you. You just connect it. And if you can't do that, I mean, you just hop on with a team member of mine and they'll just do it.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah. They will just tell you where to go, and they will ask you, okay, what do you want here? Or what's the name of this? What phone number would you want it, customer facing or non-facing, all that stuff. But there's a video library that you can see. And I believe you can set up your entire business in one day. And
just by using that platform.
Yes, because everything is there. You just need to add your stuff to it, right? And I'm a big, I'm gonna say I've mastered the art of overthinking, and now I don't do that anymore. And that's what we all do. We just overthink it to the limit that we just, I don't know, to the extent that we just we end up not doing anything.
Yeah, that's true. And what you just shared is powerful in the sense that, as you say, as solopreneurs, as entrepreneurs, we're trying to do everything by ourselves. We may not have the resources, the tools, the people, whatever it is to get out of the ground and to get things going.
Right.
So if there is one solution that is going to make my life simpler so that I can use my brain capacity to do much greater things, then that's what I want, right? Simplicity.
Exactly.
Making it easy, because when it's easy for me, then it means it's also easy. I'm also going to make it easy for my clients.
There you go.
Right? And then it will be easy for me to run my business. And that increases efficiency, productivity, give you more time so that you can focus on the other things that you need to do. So
absolutely,
kudos, well done. Thank you for thinking it up. But as a part of this, we're always doing something, and that's what you were doing. You knew you had to solve your problem, but if you were having that problem, other entrepreneurs would have been having that problem. Because I've hosted summits, and I tell you that some link somewhere did not work.
There you go.
It was not simple.
Yeah.
Somewhere something went wrong. So I would have wanted a solution that took care of everything for me. So yes, a lot of times we're doing things, we're a part of our businesses, we're executing the mission, but we're a part of something greater
Absolutely.
than ourselves.
Yes.
And that's exactly what you were doing there. And of course, when you started to talk up, you were no longer an introvert in that moment.
There you go. Yeah. I say we are introvert when we want to be introvert.
Yes, when you want to, you
I
show up
believe
as
in
an
this.
introvert.
Totally. Yep. I totally
Yes, you did. You did so well in sharing about your business. And I that duct taping our business, we're so guilty of piecing it here, fixing that there. Okay, we're just gonna fix the stairs and then we get going and then it stops and we're a mess. We're a total mess. And we cannot be a mess as business owners.
There you go. There you go. You said
We
it.
can't.
Yes. We don't have time to figure things out.
No.
You don't have time to instead of doing what we love doing, we end up doing what we're not even supposed to be doing, but we're trying to figure it out. And then that takes away months and years of our time and our like, I'm going to say like our energy too, because you start hating your own business, the one that you loved, the one you were so passionate about because of things like these, right?
Yes.
And that was me. That was so me. I was like, there's no way. Here's the domain buying and then do hosting over here and then do page builder over here and then email automation here and then tie it together. And then I was like, what is this? This is ridiculous. Yeah. So keep it simple. And I've seen, just like, I was talking about Melissa. I mean, she's made a ton of money just because she kept it simple.
Yeah.
She kept it simple and she could visually see things. I saw the power of that after I use my own system myself too. So believe it or not, every day when I sit down and I log in, I look at stuff, right? Okay, so this much money is still like pending. This much is stuck. Let me just, let me follow up with this person because he or she was on the verge. Like, you know exactly where you're supposed to be focusing on rather than doing those, let's create my logo and let's.
Exactly. So you just gave us like a business in a box.
It is a business in a box. Yes.
A business in a box.
And the offer that I'm creating, it is going to be called automation in a box, actually.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
I love it already. Anything to make my life simple, that's it.
There you go.
Nosheen, you really gave us something to think about for persons who are struggling with managing their businesses, managing workflows, managing automations, responding to clients here, checking on that invoice there, wondering if this is done, wondering if that is done. You just gave us that business in a box. And I like how the fact that you said, keep it simple, because when we keep it simple, we're able to execute faster. We're able to move faster, do other things that we needed to do.
We're able to make money faster.
We make money faster, right? And then you would have exhibited certain characteristics and traits in this whole process from starting, creating that tool, that platform, consistency, the persistence that, look, we're gonna do this. You have to teach me. I need to know how to do this because it's not gonna happen to me again.
They hate me. I know that.
The commitment that you put into it, and you couldn't have done this without a level of focus, right?
Yeah. Oh yes. I'm big on focus. If you ask my kids, my favorite word is probably focus. They're like surprised, like, how come your answer to everything is this word? Like, oh, so you were not focused enough, you were distracted.
We speak the same language.
There you go.
The same language.
It affects everything. Affects everything. And you know how I was talking about the dashboard and where you can see the business? When you see it, you know where to focus on rather than thinking.
Exactly. Or not to focus on, because not everything that we need to focus on, we have to choose deliberately so that we can get the results that we want. Absolutely. So focus don't mean that you're focusing on everything. You're actually zoning in on what matters the most. That is what it is, zoning in on what matters the most. And at the end of the day, working on the different pieces, brings a level of fulfillment that we all strive for. So,
Yes.
Nosheen, it was so good in terms of all the things that you shared. I learned so much from your background, working from bed. You created that acronym. Um, but
Yeah,
then,
all rights reserved. No, I'm just kidding.
but then, being persistent when you were laid off, that was a failure for you. You had to turn that failure into an opportunity for yourself, created a job for yourself, Then that led to other opportunities where you started working with the startup. Then you learned so much so that you could then go in and do your own business. And that's one of the things a lot of persons are in the different pieces of their journey and not taking the lessons that should come with
Yes.
it.
Yes.
They're not. Most persons will be there whining. They don't like the job. They don't like to do this. They don't like to.
Absolutely.
But there's so many things that they could be learning
Yeah.
and
Totally.
owning their skills along the way. So that's actually one of the distinctions that create from successful persons than that persons who are not, because the persons who you see moving, they're taking the lessons, they're treating their failure as, oh, this didn't work out, what's my next move?
Right.
And they're moving. So thanks for sharing all of that. And you actually also spoke with us about not quitting, keep on going. And I classified all the different things about you moving on to the next thing, of trying to be a better version of yourself. And what I like also is that we can't be everyone's cup of tea. We just have to find what works for us and who works with us. And I love your persistence in getting your business started, Easy Sales Automation. So tell us how we can find you.
Oh, I'm all over the place. I'm just kidding.
Yes.
Okay, so well, because of my, I'm going to say unique name. Yes, if you Google Nosheen Khan, you will find me. But this particular program is Easy Sales Automation. So I am offering beta membership to whoever listens to your podcast.
Great.
So it's going to be easysalesautomation.com/beta, BETA.
BETA. Okay, great. All right, wonderful. So we can find you there, and you're also on Facebook and Instagram, are you?
Absolutely.
And LinkedIn.
Yes.
So
Everywhere.
once we type in Nosheen Khan, we'll just pick up you everywhere.
You will see it. Yes. If you type in Easy Sales Automation, then it comes attached to my name. So you will find that. But again, if for this business, it's all ESA Tool. That's the handle. So ESA Tool, you'll find it on Instagram, you'll find it on TikTok, you'll find it multiple places with ESA Tool, even on Twitter and LinkedIn. Okay. And me, myself, personally, my Facebook is Excel with Nosheen, which is what the URL is, facebook.com/Excel with Nosheen.
All right. Okay, wonderful. So it was so great talking to you, Nosheen. I really enjoyed this conversation. Any last words for the audience?
So once we start our journey, right, there will be a lot of times that you would want to quit. And the reason you would want to quit would be you will feel stuck, like stuck. And we all feel that. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. It's natural. Everybody feels like that. What I've found out, and I tell this to everybody, this is really helpful to me. I just ask myself, like, there are 3 buckets that I have. And I just ask myself, the reason why I feel stuck is because of this bucket number 1, bucket number 2, or bucket number 3. And when I put my problem in its own bucket, instantly I know how to solve it. I instantly feel unstuck. So the 3 buckets are, bucket number 1 is going to be mindset. Bucket number 2 is going to be skill set. And bucket number 3 is going to be tool set. So when we say we can't do this, of course, that's mindset. And yes, you will not be able to do it, right? You just cannot do it, right? So know that this is what you need to work on. But when it's in the business, right? Maybe you lack a skill. Maybe you're not up to speed or up to date on that skill. Then either hire somebody or learn that skill, right? And you will feel unstuck.
Mhm.
Or we all use tools on a daily basis, from our, vacuum cleaners to curling irons. Like we use tools to make our lives easy. So don't be resistant about it. Don't be like, stubborn about not using the tools that will, unstuck you, and that will make your business grow. And actually, it's not even just business, it's everyday life too. It may be our mindset, tool set, or skill set, right? So, buy that tool and you'll be unstuck, and you'll be on your way to, success or make progress, whatever it is that is making you feel unstuck. So that is something that I tell everybody, because you will feel stuck a lot of times once you're on this road. I know that I've been in the past, almost, now it's been 19 years that I've been in this industry. So there have been multiple times I felt stuck. And so I'm glad this is not my own formula. I just learned it from somebody, one of the mentors. But when I apply this, it works
all the time. Absolutely. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. It's applicable, something that we can all use in life, work, and business. And that's one of the things that, I share about my podcast, is that you're going to be getting tips and strategies for life, work, and business. And you just share that. Wow. I love it. And thank you so much again, Nosheen, for being on the Focused and Fulfilled podcast. I will leave your information in my show notes, and it was so awesome. So my audience, I know they will love what you shared. So thank you again.
Thank you. I feel so honored. It was a pleasure being on your show. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to the episode.
Yes. All right, great. Good evening, good night, everyone. Thank you so much. Again, this was the Focused and Fulfilled podcast, and I'm your host, Althea Walters.